A woman is stunned to discover that although she and her husband both have type O blood, their son is type B. But instead of confronting her husband, she decides to keep quiet because she just caught a whiff of unfamiliar perfume on him and remembered the housekeeper once mentioning, almost in passing, how much their son's eyes and brows resembled her husband's. She can't shake the suspicion that her son might actually be her husband's child with another woman. To test her theory, she secretly plucks a strand of her son's hair and sends it off for a paternity test alongside her own. Then she calls her assistant and asks him to look into where her husband has really been for the past 6 months. The results come back fast and confirm her worst fear. The son she's raised for 10 years isn't biologically hers. The news hits her like a lightning bolt, but she clearly remembers her son being carried out of the delivery room all those years ago. Could her real son have been secretly swapped at birth? Determined to find the truth and get her real child back, she goes to the hospital demanding to see the birth records and admission files from that year. But she finds that all the key information is missing. No footprint records, no blood draw logs, nothing. Shouldn't those be on file? She asks. They should be in the newborn records, but we can't find them, the staff tells her. That's when it hits her. The swap wasn't an accident, it was planned. And the prime suspect is her own husband. That night, while he's asleep, she sneaks into his study and turns on his computer, hoping to find proof of the switch. But she's shocked to discover that the man who once swore he had no secrets from her has password protected his computer. She tries every meaningful date she can think of, but nothing works. Suddenly she hears his voice outside the door. Thinking fast, she accidentally knocks a glass off the desk to cover her tracks. But he immediately senses something's off. When she claims she was just looking something up, he doesn't buy it for a second. He explodes, accusing her of invading his privacy, then shoves her to the ground and frantically checks whether the computer was actually opened, not sparing her even a glance, even though her hand is bleeding from the broken glass. Only once he confirms she never cracked the password does he quietly exhale in relief, then act like nothing happened and go back to bed. How much has he been hiding from me? The next day, he abruptly announces he's going on a business trip. She simply asks who he's going with, and he snaps at her for being paranoid, even throwing his chopsticks down and storming off. But in his rush, a receipt slips out of his pocket, hard proof of an affair. She realizes she never received the gift listed on it, and has her assistant trace who did. It turns out to be his secretary. She thinks back to the first time she met this secretary, how the woman brazenly sat close to her husband and refused to give up her seat, claiming she felt unwell. She also remembers the lucky charm she'd once hung in her husband's car being swapped out for one the secretary had gotten for him herself. Even back then, something felt wrong between them, but her husband's sweet talk smoothed it over. Wanting hard proof of the affair, she has her assistant track her husband's travel itinerary and follows him. The moment she lands, she sees him and the secretary kissing openly, without a care in the world.